Don is fine. I go by Don usually.
Okay. What about Don will.i.am?
I would like that, but only if I can get will.i.am to join a group with me. Then we can be Don will.i.am.
What about Donwill Tolliver?
I fuck with that.
Nice. You can have that one.
I mean, I feel like will.i.am would join a group with you at this point because, like, I think your stock is much higher than will.i.am's.
You could literally check will.i.am's stock price right now. He is a product.
He's non-fungible. Non-fungible. That guy's non-fungible. He also has a AI. Like I watch a lot of his current interviews because a good friend of mine works with him. So I'm like always checking out what he's doing. And he has like a sassy AI that he carries with him. So it'll be like,
what? will.i.am does?
will.i.am, he has like an AI as part of his, he has an app called FYI.ai. And it's part of the app. I don't know if it's part of the app or just a thing he's developing, but he's like, so I want to get ahead. He's in on AI and he wants to like make it more relatable. So like his AI talk like, what's up, y'all? My name is Felicia.
Like
the AI,
like the Spotify DJ.
The AI, which is a real person, by the way. The AI's name is Felicia. Like, what's up, y'all? I'm Felicia, and I'm just here kicking it with my homie will.i.am. You know what I'm saying? You know how we do turn up. Like, that's how the AI introduces itself.
Oh,
and he'll have it, like, break down really hard mathematical equations, but it'll do it like, all right, so if you slide the decimal point, like 3 points, it's fucking crazy. It is crazy. No. But yeah, I fuck with will.i.am and his algorithms.
I really respect that he, as like a teenager, was Eazy-E's ghostwriter.
Yes.
One of my favorite things I ever edited when I was at Vice was a history of Eazy-E's Merry Motherfucking Christmas, which will.i.am is on. And like, despite being will.i.am, he actually like talked to the writer about it. And he was like, yeah.
I've got my hand up like I'm in a classroom because I have to stop you.
Okay.
will.i.am is on Merry Motherfucking Christmas?
will.i.am is on Merry Motherfucking Christmas.
Is he like one of the background vocals or is he like, what is he doing there? What?
I mean, I haven't listened to
I know he's like down with, I know he's cool with Eazy-E. I know about his Eazy-E relationship, but I had no idea he was on that song.
Yeah, because he was in, I think he and one of the other Black Eyed Peas were in like a group that was on Rocket, or not Rocket,
yeah,
Jesus.
Ruthless
back in the day. And I think that he just like yells stuff. Like he has a verse, but it's like pretty juvenile and bad.
will.i.am has a verse that's juvenile and bad?
Yeah.
I don't believe you.
I mean, listen, man, it's no
Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
I think he says boom boom pow on the song somewhere.
And that's,
yo, it's Kris Kringle, boom boom pow.
Yo, do you think will.i.am is going to get into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame?
Sure, why not?
But like, what are they going to play? What are they going to play for will.i.am's induction?
Where is the Love featuring Justin Timberlake?
Yeah. What is will.i.am's most impactful song? Is that that's the one? Where's the Love? Or would it be?
It might be.
Would it be? I mean, like Ordinary People, but I mean, like the one that he performed.
By John Legend? Wait.
Yeah, he wrote that.
will.i.am wrote Ordinary People?
Yeah.
What?
What part of it?
The whole thing.
Shut the fuck up. Not the piano part.
He wrote it, yeah.
Wow.
Dude, I love that song.
It's an amazing song.
That's incredible to find out.
I think him and John Legend obviously collaborated because John is the piano part of it. Mm-hmm. But I know will.i.am has a writing credit on it, and there's no drums or boom boom pow on there, so I'm assuming he wrote some of the words.
Maybe the slow o part.
Take it slow. Oh, oh. Oh,
oh. Yeah, okay.
Oh,
This is
man.
Nerzy, the #1 will.i.am fan podcast. My name is Drew. Co-hosts are Slava, who is here, and Trey, who is on the way. Produced by Steel Tip Dove. Music by Craig S. Jenkins. And joined today by the one, the only, Donwill.
I am.
Donwill, I am. Donwill Tolliver. Don Goodwill Hunting. Donwill is a rapper, producer, DJ, comedian, and the host of the podcast, The Almanac of Rap, the third season of which premieres August 1st on Okayplayer. He also has a show on the recently revived East Village Radio called Too Much Rap, which you can tune into every second and fourth Wednesday of the month from 10 a.m., also 10 a.m., to 12 p.m. Thank you for coming on.
Thank you. I'm really trying to get this I am thing go off the ground. So I appreciate you changing times to just AM, PM, and I am.
Of course. What you been up to today specifically?
Today specifically, I went to the Okayplayer offices.
Okay.
And we had a meeting about the show, and then I went outside to do some man on the street stuff where you stop people and be like, hey, what's up? I want to talk to you for a second. That thing.
Oh, hell yeah.
Oh, what? How often have you was that your first time doing it, or?
It was about my third or fourth.
Awesome.
I would say it. I don't want to say I don't enjoy it, but I'm going to say I don't enjoy it. Like there is something like there's something so I feel like I'm bothering the shit out of people when I'm like, can I talk to you for a minute about hip hop? And you have to like just jump into it, and they're like, okay. It's like, yo, you like hip hop? But instead of a CD, I'm just asking you, can I film you?
Yeah, you're like Z-Way. You're like about to like ambush them, be like, name 5 rappers in. That's crazy. I did not know that. That's my biggest fear. That's actually my biggest fear is someone coming up to me with a camera being like, dude, you know hip hop? Prove it.
That's
like,
essentially...
In Brooklyn, of all places, they're about to roast my ass online. I'm running away from you.
That's essentially what I'm doing. But like, I have to reassure the people, like, they're really fun questions. Nothing salacious. I won't be like asking you fucking super hard shit or making you say some weird stuff. Unless you want to say weird stuff.
Okay, I have an idea. What if you went up to them and the first thing you said is English or Spanish?
Okay. Where are we going with this?
And then that would break the ice because they'd think you're the one guy. And then you're like, what are the 5 pillars of hip hop?
In Spanish.
Well, yeah, if you can say that in Spanish, salute.
But what kind of questions are you asking? Like, do it on Slava and I.
So today's questions were questions that relate to the upcoming episode. So the first question was, and Slava will do great with this.
I'm so
question
nervous.
number 1. Okay, so you guys are on the street, and I'm like, yo, what's up? You mind if I talk to you guys about hip hop? It's a really fun question. Interview thing. It's nothing heavy lifting. No, you don't have to have a bunch of hip hop knowledge.
Okay.
I've already called the cops.
See? So the first question is, name any Canadian rapper, celebrity, or DJ, or anybody. Any Canadian personality. Slava, you cannot answer this question. Drew, you can't answer before Drew. You got to wait till Drew answers it.
Okay. I'm going with Mad Child. Let's battle.
Wow.
Mad Child.
That's an amazing answer. That's West Coast.
From Swollen members? Yo.
Trey,
hey, also turn that noise canceling thing on because I once again have to be out the house because the house next door to mine is being condemned and they are using nail guns. Like, like there was apparently a fire and then they had people living there illegally and like, yeah, it's just, yeah.
Holy. Hey, man, nice to meet you.
This is perfect because Donwill is actually practicing his man on the street interview techniques with us. And you are currently a man who is
on the
actually on the street.
Yeah, so you got a minute to talk. You got a minute to talk about some hip hop?
Oh, well.
All right. Well, Drew already named one person. You're jumping in. You're coming in blind, but I was going to ask Slava, but since you're here, where are you from? Where are you at?
I'm from Maryland. I'm in Brooklyn.
Okay. Name any Canadian celebrity. Any Canadian celebrity.
Jim Carrey.
Jim Carrey. All right. Slava, take us home.
Oh, fuck. Lorne Michaels.
Lorne Michaels is Canadian. He is Canadian. That's right.
Wow.
That's right. That's a pillar of your guys' culture, made by one of ours. So just remember that.
So Lorne Michaels is also not like us, is what you're saying.
No, he's us. It's hard for me to remember who's the they.
And then
that's catchy. What song is that?
Hey, Lorne, I heard you like him young.
Okay, all right.
No, that would go to 30 Rock 1. 30 Rock Studio 1.
Okay, so what's our next question?
All right. So back to the questions.
Okay.
The next one is, why do I keep? Which artist's online fan base goes the hardest for them? Like, who has the most fervent, rabid base of fans?
Of the people that we just named, or
of anybody? It's very open ended.
Kamala Harris.
She does have a squad, a gang, if you will.
Nicki Minaj.
A hive, many have said.
Nicki Minaj has probably the scariest fan base for me. Pound for pound, I'm terrified of the Barbs.
Fair.
Like I don't even type Nicki Minaj's name online. I'm not bullshitting you. They dox people, man. I don't want to get doxxed.
Wait, who are we talking about?
They actually solve crimes and shit.
The Barbs.
Oh, well, no, the Barbs like help perpetrate crimes, honestly.
Yep, they do.
Yeah, niggas should be under Rikers right now, man. What are you gonna do?
Did anyone see that show? Donald
Which
Glover
one?
Produced for Amazon.
Swarm.
Yeah.
Oh, but that's about Beyonce,
Crazy.
isn't it?
Just what we're talking about, feverish fans.
Yeah, it was a dope. Dominique Fishback killed that role. She killed that shit.
Yeah, it was like I think she did too good a job, because like the first episode, because of her, was like very unnerving, and I was like, I don't know if I can make it through this whole show.
Yeah, and then Billie Eilish came on in the middle of the show and killed it as like a cult leader. It was
I didn't know that Billie Eilish was on that show. I didn't watch enough of it. I was like, Drew, I made it 2 episodes, and I'm like, this is scary.
Billie Eilish was so good for me. It might have just been for me that like I didn't notice it was Billie Eilish until like seeing her for like 5 or 10 minutes. Like,
I didn't know that until just now.
Oh, really? She was like in CGI?
I'm gonna have to Google it.
Or prosthetics?
Crazy.
She was in like a fat suit, like the movie Walrus. Another wild movie. But so the questions culminated. Like I asked people some nicknames. There was a. They're pretty open ended, because the thing about it is, I'm just approaching random people, and I don't know what their baseline knowledge of rap is. Mm-hmm. So a lot of like there was one couple. I was
you about to get really pissed off, bro.
Who, me?
Yeah, with just jumping on random people in the street and being like, yeah, so what do you know about so and so? And it's gonna be like, oh my god.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And like for me, I'm not really comfortable with the man on the street shit. So I needed to be as non-combative and easy as possible. Like I needed to just be like almost conversational, where like I was like, give me a nickname for Jay-Z, and everybody's like, Hove. Okay, yeah, that's good. I don't want it to be
Jacob Zed.
Yeah, I don't want it to be like deep information, because that's a road to nowhere. It's a road to frustration.
What's the most esoteric question you asked that people actually did have like a pretty good answer for, that you were pretty shocked by? Like the last 5 minutes of the shift, were you like, let me ask them their favorite Jay Electronica lyric, and then some guy like actually had a favorite Jay Electronica lyric?
It was there was there was one woman who she was so I asked about if they knew what an almanac was too, because the podcast is the almanac of rap.
Okay.
Nobody knows what the fucking almanac is, which is fair because they're like,
wait,
like
just so we're
book.
clear, what do you? Okay, an almanac is where you write down what the weather was, right?
Not really.
I believe it's more forward looking.
Yeah, you predict the weather, and the farmer's almanac is like
you
the
don't
farmer's
predict the weather. You
Yeah.
talk about what happened.
Yeah, you predict it.
It's supposed to be a book that helps you like plan your shit moving forward, so it's predictive. And it's also what's the dude's name with the light bulb? Benjamin Franklin. He had a really famous almanac that he used to write.
That was Thomas Edison, but like neither here nor there.
Oh yeah, my bad. That was Thomas Edison. You know, same. Them niggas did the same shit. Same thing. Light bulbs. Documents. You're right. It was Thomas Edison. But
nah. Benjamin Franklin flew the kite so Thomas Edison could make the light bulb.
So they were saying they were gang. They hung out together.
Yeah.
But so Benjamin Franklin had an almanac that he wrote, and there were a couple of famous ones. But it kind of is just kind of like a dead. I mean, it still comes out. I won't say it's a dead book, but it's only like applicable to like farmers and people in rural areas. So I was like trying to hack the almanac a little bit and bring it to a different zone in my mind, because it's just a book of facts and like quips and silly phrases and sayings and shit now.
It's like a manifesto.
Yeah, exactly. I've been writing my manifesto for years, which fun. Like I was listening to an LL Cool J interview. Have you seen does anybody care about this man's album coming out besides me? Does anybody?
Oh, NCIS is on his 27th season. Yeah. NCIS is huge.
Yo, Big Ellie coming out, man. Like, yeah, of course I care about that shit.
I found out about it through your Substack, which is a very good Substack, which people should go to at donwill.substack.com. Did I get that right? That was off the head.
It is, and if you're here because of my Substack, you should go to nerzy.substack.com. Did I get that one right?
Yes. Okay. I'm doing the handshake emoji now. So
LL Cool J put out a track list for his new album, and one of the songs is called I forget what it's called, but he basically is speaking from the viewpoint of being Christopher Dorner.
Whoa! Fuck off!
Eminem already did,
because he said something like, when that whole thing went down, his close friend called him like, "Hey man, you should really stay in the house today." And LL was like, "Why?" He was like, "Trust me, don't go outside. Cut on the news though." And he said, I turned on the news and there was this dude that looked just like me. And I had to figure out what happened. And so he said from that, he kind of was just like, I feel like I'm paraphrasing. I might be getting some stuff wrong, but he said something about how he feels like he was misunderstood in some ways and has some really
it makes sense, man. Like, yeah, he looks kind of like Chris Dorner. Like,
he does.
Lupe just put out that album where he's like cosplaying Amy Winehouse as a samurai, whatever the fuck. He looks kind of like her.
Yeah. So since finding out that album is about if Amy Winehouse was a battle rapper, I've played that album. I love the sentences that we get to say in 2024. Like, they're just the dumbest sentences in the world.
But okay, I listened to that album too. There's only one song about her being a battle rapper. The rest of it doesn't follow like the narrative structure. It's like the first few songs are about a wish is granted and she's able to rap as well as she could sing. But the whole album doesn't follow like the ebbs and flows of a story about her becoming a songs. It's just like a few songs.
What album?
So
Lupe Fiasco.
Lupe Fiasco put out an album called Samurai, and the album's theme is that Amy Winehouse told somebody she writes battle raps for fun that she doesn't share with anybody. So Lupe is imagining what Amy Winehouse's battle raps would be like.
All right. So
you're mad
lowbrow this
time.
Do you know what Lupe's last album was about, narratively?
If Taylor Swift was a battle rap, I don't know.
It was like from the perspective of a lobster at the bottom of the ocean.
Right.
What?
Yeah. I think
that makes sense.
I need
that
to
is
know.
a popular David Foster Wallace book of essays. I could see Lupe reading that.
I just gotta say, I think that that is even wilder than if Amy Winehouse was a battle rapper. Well, what? I'm so confused by the. Are you serious?
Yeah, that's like 5 years old now. It's
What's it
pre-COVID. Listen, let's find out. Lupe Lobster.
I mean, Lupe was ahead of his time, if that's the case, because according to Trey, the SpongeBob musical is like the most popular. It's the new Hamilton.
I can see
better
that.
than Hamilton, bro. I never even seen Hamilton live.
Did you see?
I never even sat through it on video. So like, yeah.
Where's the SpongeBob musical at?
Broadway.
They got in New York. You one of the funniest thing is the dude who was like played SpongeBob in the musical Ariana Grande broke up his marriage.
Yes.
Yeah.
Looks like SpongeBob.
I'm so excited.
He looks like a human Sponge. Yeah, he looks like human Bob's, regular pants. But yeah, it's
Trey.
I also want to say that my excitement about that, screaming yes about knowing about Ariana Grande's love life. I said yes, and I said it with my chest. That was like a triple entendre for Ariana Grande fans out there who know her music. You know what I'm saying?
I'll take your word for that. Here.
I'll take your word for it.
Her first single is called Yes, and she's like, yes, say that shit with your chest. I said yes with my chest over her love life. Tip of my hat.
Oh, my bad. It wasn't from the perspective of a lobster. It was a made-up race of mermaids.
What?
That were called the Long Chains, who were slaves who were thrown off a slave ship during the Atlantic slave trade, but then they survived, and the water gave them new life in a similar manner. And then it talks about how liquor is bad for you. Wow. It's called Wave. Anyway,
is he dissing food and liquor? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
Like he said food and liquor is bad for you? Because it's about lobsters and liquor. Like, that's food and liquor right there.
Drogas Wave?
Wave. Just Wave.
I'm not.
Yeah, but there's Drogas and Wave, which is a double album. Drogas is about drugs. Wave is about liquor. And I guess literally waves because of the mermaid.
I'm just going to say Lupe needs to maybe write movies for A24 at some point.
Or just work with some interesting producers.
Do you know that Lupe casually became one of the best Street Fighter players in the world? Like he picked up. Yeah, there's a YouTube video of him beating the #1 ranked Street Fighter player.
This happened a few years ago, right?
Yeah, a while ago.
I remember hearing about that.
Yeah, but it's like, Chicago rappers are really funny like that. Like Twister became a ventriloquist.
No, he didn't.
No,
Is that
that's
real?
true. That's true.
Yeah, I'm not. That's one I couldn't make up, man. Like,
That's really
it's like what Don just said. Like the sentences you get to say in 2024, man. Yeah.
Like you would have never imagined saying Twister as a ventriloquist, but it makes so much sense now.
Yeah, I'm going to my little sister's wedding next week, and I cannot wait to say all these sentences to Europeans. Like, yeah, she marrying a boy from Madrid. Yeah.
Oh,
that is.
Yeah, I don't know how that happened
sir.
either, but congrats. Yeah, he's a nice boy. Yeah, I beat his ass at Scrabble last Christmas, but yeah.
Before we go too crazy, and before we spend the rest of the episode debating whether or not Kamala is Brat, Don, just tell us more about the Almanac of Rap, like kind of like, the new season coming out on Okayplayer. You have A-Track and Questlove, I know, on the show. Let's hear more about it.
So this is the third season of the show. The first season was done in conjunction with Sonos during the pandemic. They gave me one season of this. They produced one season of the show, and it lived on Mixcloud only. It was proprietary to their app, and they gave me permission to because I have the IP. So everybody, you can post it up on other streaming platforms if you want to, but just give us a little bit of a term. So I'll let them just have the whole season, and then once the season ended, I started putting it up to Spotify, and then I did a second season by myself. And at that point, Okayplayer approached me, and we joined forces. And this season, I have Questlove's not a guest. I did a separate standalone interview for him. But I did interview him.
Okay.
But I got A-Track, I got Layla Hathaway, I got Rodney Jerkins, and I got Von P are the first 4 guests.
That was sick. Okay.
Yeah, it's a pretty fun show, and like the show is like it's a different sort of audio format, and it's not just full interview. Like the top of the show is more like an audio essay about just whatever rabbit hole I'm in. So like we were talking about the Man on the Street stuff being based on, like I talked about Canadian artists a lot because I interviewed A-Track, and the top half of that interview episode is me talking about how Americans only know about Drake. We don't really know about other Canadian hip hop stuff. So I'm just walking people through a brief history of Canadian hip hop. The Rodney Jerkins episode, I'm gonna talk, like I talked to him about a bunch of different, not unsolved mysteries, but a bunch of different random questions, like who's the better rapper between Mary J. Blige and Brandy?
Oh, that's a great
they both
question.
rap.
That's fair. Yeah,
they both rap. Also, at the beginning of Whitney Houston's "It's Not Right, But It's Okay," like the math she's doing, I'm like, was she doing that about? Was she talking about Whitney about New Edition? Because she's naming 6 people, and there's 6 people in that group. We need answers, like it's stuff like that. So it's always kind of it's whimsical and it's silly, but it's also informative, and it's for music nerds. I'm not even gonna I was trying to like not say music nerds because that can be off-putting, but I'm gonna own it. I'm a music nerd. I love music trivia and stuff.
but like it's not right. It's kind of her like thank you next, right?
Huh?
It's not right. It's kind of like Whitney's like thank you next, or I guess like the other way around. Yeah, Ariana's fucking yeah.
I think so. I don't really know Ariana's. I just know that one. I just know the hook to that one song. I just know the hook. I know the hook to the. I did listen to Ariana Grande's whole album, and I wrote about it on my Substack. But I have the memory of a goldfish sometimes, so I don't remember the album. But yeah, the season starts. The new season starts on August 1st.
Okay. And can people find it just like in their podcast apps, or do they need to go to Okayplayer? Let's get some logistics here. Okay.
It's in the apps. It's on Spotify, Apple. It's on all the different streamers. It'll be on YouTube too because, that's what I didn't mention. The first 2 seasons were audio only, and this is my partnership with Okayplayer is about bringing it to video. Nice. So it's a video show this time around. And I would recommend people to watch the video version of it because we put a lot of work into making sure that it's a quality visual and it's not just like a camera on me talking. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so it'll be fun. It's going to be a robust audio visual presentation across several distributed streaming platforms.
Excellent.
So as a creator, can you talk about kind of real quick how that worked with approaching them and what you needed from them versus what you were able to bring them from something that you built? Just I feel like some people will be interested in hearing that as people trying to break through.
Well,
no, we're putting this part on the paid. Yeah, this is a paid episode.
Yeah, people who can't afford to listen to it, who need it the most.
Bum! Pay for it. Bum! Well, for me, so I did the whole second season alone. Like the first season, I had Sonos's purse strings. So I was able to pay for a sound engineer and pay for art and just pay for things as I needed them. The second season, I didn't have anybody but me. So I had to, I'm a rapper. I rap, I make music, I do albums, and I record myself. So a lot of the recording aspect, I was very familiar with, very comfortable with, and even enjoyed it. Like I enjoy editing audio. I enjoy finding clips and like, it's almost like it felt like making an album without having to rap. And if anybody knows how much I have a love-hate relationship with rap and stuff, he knows. He's seen me coming here and rap and whatever. But so when I linked up with Okayplayer, it was about the thing that I could bring them was a fully produced audio presentation. So I wanted to try to figure out how to build a visual on top of it that lined up with the audio presentation as it was. And one of the main, that's like the main resource they gave me is that they were able to like fully help me realize what the visual aspect of it would be, because I didn't, I didn't have a idea of how to make it into a video podcast. and I didn't want it to be just me with a podcast mic and somebody else with a podcast mic. Whereas, because I watch a lot of those shows, I watch a lot of them.
We will not name names, such as the name of No Jumper, and the name of I don't know the other ones. Drink Champs.
Yeah, but some of those are cool. Like I was gonna say, have you considered getting blackout drunk with your guests?
Oh, I'm doing it right now. I don't know if I told you that. I am 20 sheets to the wind. Now, but like a lot of the other shows that I watch,
you ever fuck Ashanti?
Like I watch some of the most nerdy. I watch this show called Answer in Progress on YouTube. Mm-hmm. They're Canadian, Slava, so you would love them.
I've heard of them. They're my friends. Answer in Progress. I've heard all about them, but you talk about them.
Their show is basically about they do heavy data and statistics and research about just a topic. So it'll be like,
that's why I haven't heard of them.
Yeah, it's not musical at all. Like one episode, one of the people opened a restaurant for 24 hours just to see what it was like. It's just shit like that. It's not Mr. Beast level shit where it's like, we have $1 million. We're going to just put 20 YouTubers in the room and let them fight. It was literally, you could tell it's like on a budget. It's Patreon funded. There's another show.
All of their titles are lowercase, which is very millennial coded. I like them already.
It's vibes. There's another show called Digging the Greats. That's a music show, but he's got the live mic. He's got like a little set. So like I was trying to figure out how to do it in a way that felt more like a show and felt less like a podcast. And I think we achieved a good blend of that, because the interview portion is just me at a table talking to somebody, but we did it in a way that doesn't feel like me in the middle of a recording studio talking to somebody. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, from the trailer, it looks like a nice fucking table. Like solid wood.
It's solid wood. It's untreated wood, by the way. So, you know what I'm saying? We kept it raw. We keep the conversations raw. Watch out for
more interesting than the tiny desk as a structure,
Listen, I mean,
we can go desk for desk.
Yeah.
I got a picnic table because I want you to come. I want to be able to like sit on both sides of the table. You know what I'm saying? Tiny desk. The desk isn't really that tiny. It's kind of a big desk if you really think about it.
Absolutely.
Shout out Dan Ozzie. Yeah.
Yes.
So false advertising there.
Yeah, our former colleague, we all know each other because we worked at Vice. And our former colleague, this dude named Dan Ozzie, wrote an entire investigation into how the tiny desk
it was several thousand words. Yeah.
How the desk was what?
The tiny desk is just
tiny.
like, it's not tiny.
Oh, yeah. No.
Like he was getting quotes from people like Jason Isbell and stuff, and it was like, it's actually a pretty regularly sized desk.
That's my type of journalism. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Let's get to the bottom of the real thing at hand here. How big is the desk?
Yeah.
Because it doesn't look tiny to me.
It's a standard desk. Yeah.
It looks heavy. It looks like a desk you have to like have two people to move.
Yeah, maybe 3 or 4, honestly, man.
I've seen that desk. It's the desk with like the metal like wraparound. Those are huge heavy desks.
Depending on how many files you get in there, man, it might be like 5-6 people you need to help carry that shit.
Yeah, so we only have the finest untreated wooden picnic table. You know what I'm saying? That type of shit. I'm bringing that to my vocabulary. Type shit.
Okay, good.
Not gonna catch on. I don't see that. Sorry.
So one thing, speaking of Okayplayer, one thing I wanted to talk to you about, and let me know if you are sick of talking about this. But it's kind of you having the show on Okayplayer is kind of a full circle moment for you, because you and Von P, the other member of your group, Tanya Morgan, y'all met on the Okayplayer message boards, right?
We did.
Can you kind of like explain to people the significance of specifically the Okayplayer message board culture, like back in the day? Because like, yeah,
it was a big deal for back then. I mean, like like when I say that, I mean like there wasn't really. I mean, you had. I'm trying to like think back. I think Black Planet was back then. I know there were AOL chat rooms back then.
Oh, Black Planet.
Yeah,
we were on that shit way too young. Fucking yeah.
But there was this sort of like stigma around meeting people online or just hanging out with people online or just being online. Nobody really understood it. It was for like degenerates and people who had weird intentions and were like whatever, because it was faceless. It didn't really have the capacity to hold images and photos like it was, so everybody was kind of more or less anonymous. You had to kind of take people at face value and be able to really read through, like you had to be able to like read a person's personality through their text. Whereas now everybody's image, and it's like we live in this hyper rich media landscape versus back then it was just text, it was just letters. So the thing about Okayplayer that was fun and that was kind of like a training ground for me for this version of the internet is that like I learned how to deal with the comment section. I learned how to like deal with like, you know, deal with parsing a person's personality versus just being like, oh, I'm looking at your Instagram account. I can see how you move and how you talk. But it was probably one of the most transformative places next to there was high school, there was college, and there was Okayplayer. And those were the three things that I kind of used as schools in a way.
Were you ever on like the not right boards and shit too?
I was. So at that point, when that came around, we were more active. So like we had albums out, and I would be reading the comments. Not Right didn't really post our stuff to begin with because he was more street hip hop shit, and we were not at that street hip hop. But I was more Two Dope Boys was kind of like more my vibe.
Okay.
Shouts to Mac and Shake, and also shouts to what's the guy who ran Not Right? SK
Nation.
Shouts to SK and Nation.
Yeah.
Nation, Canada's own Nation.
Montreal, yeah. Shout out Nation. Shout out Nation.
But so like I would be reading the comment section, but I wouldn't go to the comment section and type stuff, mostly because I felt like. So a large part of the reason why I stopped posting on Okayplayer was because once we started releasing music and they would be talking about it, it just felt weird to be in a post where people are talking about me. It felt weird. I've always had that kind of like relationship to the arts and stuff that I do, that even when I post stuff on Instagram, like if it's not a flyer promoting the show, you know what I'm saying? Like if it's like, here's a music video, I can't I can't really read the comments. I've learned how to distance myself from it because it's not my, I don't like, your opinion of my art is yours, but I don't want to interact with it if I don't have to.
Yeah.
Because that makes, sometimes if you ingest too many people's opinions about what you do, you'll start to embody it in some ways. And I mean either praise or what's the opposite of praise?
Criticism.
Anti-praise.
Criticism. Yeah.
Hate.
Yeah. Hating, not even criticism, hating, you know what I'm saying? Because criticism is constructive. Hating, what's the construction in that? You see, Trey outside because of construction. That ain't criticism is constructive. But hating ain't constructive. Hating ain't constructive, man. I fucked up my own little thing. I threw myself off. But yeah, no, like
how do you square that though? The thing about overanalyzing something versus making something like the Rap Almanac, where you're literally just analyzing a thing.
Well, with the rap, so with the Almanac of Rap, I try to keep it more whimsical, where it's less about me. It's less about me being judgmental or critical of a thing than it is about me just walking someone through the thing. Like instead of being like, I really like these shoes, they're great, they're comfortable, I'm like, these shoes are blue, they have mesh, they have shoelaces. Like those are just aspects of the shoe. But on my newsletter, I've been starting to be a little bit more We all have opinions, and like I want to be a little bit more personable and like kind of have an opinion about music and like have jokes because, like you were saying, you like Man of the Woods as an album. I didn't. Really
We're recording now, so no, I did not say that, and you can't prove that I said that.
Well, I wrote
it's
like
definitely a collection of songs that were sequenced in a certain way.
There we go.
Yeah,
you can press play on it.
I wrote about it like I do these things where I kind of predict what songs will sound like before I play them. I play them and see if I got it on. And I did Man of the Woods because I put that album in the scope of it being Justin reclaiming his whiteness before Beyonce reclaimed country. So Justin reclaimed country music before Beyonce did. You know what I'm saying? Beyonce came out with Cowboy Carter. Justin went to the woods years before that. You know what I'm saying?
Unabomber style.
Unabomber style.
This might derail the whole thing, but do you think music is content?
No. I think it can be content. I think that when AI makes music, it's content. Okay. I think that when music is made for a certain purpose, like
a jingle.
Like if it's a jingle, if I make bad music for a podcast, like that's like, you know, like whatever. Like I think it depends on the utility of the music. I don't know if this question was meant to have a real answer, but it depends on the utility of the music.
Well, I'm just curious because you make content now, but you're also a musician.
Yeah, I and that's why my musical output is because I can't really parse feeling like I'm like I make music as I don't make music as content, and it's hard for me to view my music as content. Like it's very hard for me to do that. I can make content around my music. Mm-hmm. I can turn some of the songs that I make into digestible chunks for content, but I can't make things specifically with this is content in mind. And I think that's part of that's like a generational shift for me anyway. Like I know a lot of younger musicians and acts, they're fine with music being content.
Okay, so you're saying your music specifically is not content, but in general, music can be content. Like they could be synonymous.
It can be like the BBL Drizzy. That's content.
Never heard of it.
I mean,
I forgot who I was talking to. I'm so sorry.
BBL Drizzy is like an episode length topic.
Bro,
content is a meaningless word.
Yeah.
Content is meaningless because if you make music, if you make art, you are making content. It's such a meaningless word. Like if you plan on sharing the music or art just because of what the word content means, that means you're putting out content.
So
just the definition of content is so banal, but we've turned it into a negative thing. But I get it comes from a negative place.
I mean, English is a living language, you know, and like definitions of words change, and like, or they don't change, but they like, you know, adopt new fucking context to them and shit.
Because what 30 years ago, what were zines and posters and CDs and tapes and all these things that people were sharing? That was the content of the art.
Okay. Let's to take it a step further and get even more deep into the words.
Let's go.
Like a CD. Like a CD, whatever the medium was, the art on it was the content. It's the content of the container that's holding the music. And now that all the media that would be contained by those containers, like the internet is a container, so everything would be content. So yes, you do have a point.
I think that people are having sometimes people have a negative reaction to this thing. And then they just sit on art and stuff because they don't want to put out content, but it's like just put out art. That is the same thing. Like it's the same. I don't know. It's weird. Like, you see what I'm saying? Am I even articulating anything that's making sense?
You are articulating, my friend.
Dove, it sounds like you're taking a sub at Despot.
All the time. That's all I want to do. I don't know. Like, I don't know.
That's a joke. Shouts out Despot. Album coming out. It will. I mean, so Don, one thing that I am super interested in is so like you and Von P, like Tanya Morgan, came up at this time and sort of like kind of flourished at a time when like there was like a lot of interaction between, you know, the underground and mainstream of hip hop. Like, you know, thinking about how like Wale is like one day doing an interview talking about how Jean Grey is his favorite rapper and then signing to MMG the next, or like, I mean, I don't know, Rhymefest is a bad example because Rhymefest was always sort of like in Kanye's camp, but you had like a lot of like interaction there. And I'm wondering if you have any like recollections from that time that are like super weird, where you're like, I'm in a room with Kanye and he is watching pornography or whatever.
What kind of porn was Kanye watching mostly?
It was like tentacle anime stuff, I think, if I'm not mistaken.
Okay, cool.
But I don't know. That time was such a blur, man. Like I do remember. This is probably not like, because Kendrick Lamar was not Kendrick Lamar. J Rock was the get. Remember the period of time when J Rock was the bigger.
Oh
TV artist?
yeah, I remember.
Still arguably.
There was a God damn. It was such a straight face. But
That song Wow was really good.
It is a really good song.
It's amazing.
We were at South by Southwest performing, and we were on stage, and J Rock and a Black Hippie were coming on after us, and a fight happened outside, and all these guys like ran. The green room was behind the stage. All these guys like ran through literally ran through us performing. Like I'm passing the mic to Vaughn, and like Q is like shooting between. I'm like, what the fuck is happening? And then in the middle of our set, like the whole bar just like flooded outside because they were fighting security guards. And
What?
It was the wildest shit ever. And somebody posted a video on Instagram. Like, the reason why I thought of this is because somebody posted a video on the internet. I think my friend Sean Fallion posted it, but it was a clip of like Sean, this guy El Press from LA, like Kendrick was there. I want to say Q was there. A couple like these other LA people like from the scene, and it was literally like it had to be like 30 or 40 minutes after or before that. I want to say after, because they were talking about like, yeah, you know, some LA shit popped off out here. And I was watching the video like, oh man, I hit up Vaughn like, do you remember that night? He was like, hell yeah. Then I hit up Mecca like, man, do you remember? Mecca was like, dog, how can I ever forget that fucking day? But yeah, that's one. What is another one? I don't know. I know that I can tell a Drake story. I have a Drake story.
Please.
I have a Drake story.
Back from the AOL days.
This is so we ended up doing a song with Drake at one point.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, there's a song called Right to Left. It's on YouTube. And because Vaughn did a song with Vaughn Fonte and Drake have a song, and we did a song with him. He was doing a lot of songs with, like, you know, just seeing who was cracking out, seeing who he could work with. And he got in touch with us. We did a joint. So fast forward, the Roots used to throw these jam sessions. I forget where they used to be, but at one of them, Drake was there, Wale was there, all these cats were there, and Vaughn was really drunk. I got to preface that Vaughn was drunk, and he walked up to Drake, like you know, we were talking to Drake, and he walks up. Vaughn walks up. He's like, "Yo, man, whatever you do, keep it real, man. Don't switch your shit up. Don't switch it up,
dude." This is the Kraft Single Cheese Process song.
Kraft Single Cheese Process.
Oh yeah, my god!
Get it? Kraft Single Cheese. I forget what he said before that, but yeah, it's that song. But so like, Vaughn walked up and he's just like, "Yo, man, whatever you do, don't switch it up. I know you fucking with I know you in like a bidding war. I know you about to start fucking with Cash Money. Don't switch it up. And Drake sincerely, he looks at me and looks at Von. He's like, why would you say that? What do you think I'm gonna do? So at that point, he wanders off. The party's over, and I'm like, yo, man, I'm like, this nigga's drunk. So then maybe 20 minutes later, 30 minutes later, Drake comes back over. He's like, yo, seriously, like, why would I switch it up? What are you saying? Like, he was so offended in that moment that I think Drake. He's
like, no, I'm going to switch it up now. Fuck that. Like,
yep. And I think
I'm gonna switch it up so many times. I'm gonna make your fucking head spin. Yeah.
I'm gonna get braids at 40.
I think if you take the ad libs from Family Matters and listen to them only, he probably dissed us in there. I think he might have dissed us. I think when he said 20v1, we were number 18 and 19. You know what I'm saying? But shout out to Drake.
Yeah.
No, we don't have to say that.
Yeah, no. Thank you for telling a story where you made Drake sound very down to earth and relatable, and one where Kendrick sounded like a brutal thug.
Did I just insert myself into this beef? Am I Rick Ross?
You're us now. Hey, you're they.
We have. Do you know Judnick Maillard? Judnicky?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, shut up, nigga, man.
She interviewed Drake right outside of my apartment years ago because he came to see Zoe Kravitz perform at South by.
He did. I remember that.
Yeah, she did an interview with him. That might be on YouTube somewhere too.
I didn't know that she interviewed him, but I remember he came to see Zoe Kravitz, and we were like, because I think that I feel like one of my other homies were there, but I just can't remember.
Yeah, it was not even like nobody even crowded around. Like she could just interview him outside, like hanging out. Like he was Drake, but he wasn't Drake.
This was the boy before he was the man that was the boy.
Yeah. He's never been the man. According to the
boy of the people.
The boy of the people. He's a boy. Oh man, but yeah. So and then there was that era was just so wild. Like I remember there was one other show where it was like a Brooklyn Natty release show, and the lineup was J. Cole,
Boo,
Big Sean,
yeah, okay,
Double Boo.
No, let him cook.
My bad. J. Cole wasn't even on the lineup. It was Big Sean, then J. Cole just popped up and was like, I signed the Rock Nation, then us, and then Wale headline. So that was the performing order.
What the fuck? Was this in Washington?
It was at Le Poisson Rouge.
That place is crazy.
And I remember that spot.
Poisson Rouge? Why do you say it like that?
You forget, man. People thought Wale was going to save hip hop for like 6 months at one point. Yeah.
Absolutely. He still is.
Yeah.
I was people. I was definitely people. I'm like, man, Wale.
Were you an ambitious girl?
Rapping over Go-Go Beats Wale, man. I was just like, oh, DC's so back right now, man. Yeah, and
because
then
I lived in Maryland for 2 years before I moved here. Like,
wait, what part?
Temple Hills.
I'm from Silver Spring.
Hey, I got an honor on Silver Spring. Shout out to Silver Spring.
Thank you. Someone finally said it. Someone finally fucking said it.
I'll fuck with the Springs. You know what I mean? I don't know if you call it the Springs, but
we don't. But I'll allow it. Yeah.
But so I was out there and I remember just hearing Wale's shit. Like, oh, so when I got to New York and Wale was like bumping up here, Wale and Tabby Bonet were the two dudes.
Oh, shout out to Tabby.
Yeah, I remember that guy.
Yeah, I remember.
I'm from DC.
He just did what's the from the porch Nucci, that Nucci from the porch.
Yep. Yeah.
He just did one of those songs, one of those performances. But Tabby Bonet did. But yeah, like Wale was he's still one of the better people rapping. Like he's still really fucking good. But I feel like something happens where when the game decides they don't want to deal with you anymore, they just kind of move on, and you have whatever your career is.
It's like, unfortunately, he became kind of like not as corny, but it was like a Troy Ave type figure.
Yeah,
where where like people just kept hearing about like their interactions with Wale and shit, and it was like, man, I hate this motherfucker, man. Like,
ain't no pizza.
Yeah.
Ain't no pizza.
I'll say this, and we can take it at face value, for better or worse, whatever it is. We toured with Wale for like 5 or 6 cities, maybe 8. Never met him.
Wow,
never met him. We were on tour with him. He would pull his bus up we would get on stage and rap, and then like he would leave his bus, get on stage and rap, and go right back to his bus. He didn't like. Yeah. But I mean, again,
maybe y'all had bad vibes. I don't know.
Maybe we did. maybe the underground hip hop act who was pulling up to the venue in a Mazda was just like, he was like,
it's like, yo, they never heard of TCB or UCB, man. Like, what the fuck I'm talking to them about?
Exactly. But like, I say that with a grain of salt, meaning that like, I get it. Maybe he just was fucking in his bus, like, man.
Yeah, nice bus.
Yeah. Good bus. Like, meanwhile, we were fucking in the green room on the ratty couch. Like, if I had a bus, I would be on that shit too.
I mean, I gotta say, Wale, much like Troy Ave, is not a journalism respecter, unlike yourself, sir.
I've heard he doesn't really respect journalists. He's not a.
I mean, Wale is just like a certain type of DC dude from a certain era. Which I tangentially am too. As if like we go to the different, because like Don, you lived in the area and shit, so like what kind of hating can go on down there.
Oh yeah,
yeah. It's like that's why I'm so good at it. But yeah, it's Wale was kind of like whatever like the millennial Gen Z cusp of like hating is probably where I was at. Like he was firmly a millennial hater, but in terms of whatever like hater in millennial terms is.
He's also just short.
That's not what we were talking about.
That is an allegation.
Yeah, I don't think
he's like 5'2".
No.
Slaver, you remember the last time a Canadian called an American short and what happened?
No.
Like take it back. Take it. Wop.
Hey, don't bring the Italians into this, dude.
Oh man. But yeah,
then there's
I was in a room with Kanye too.
What?
At a party. It was a party. There's a photo that pops up every so often that like it's Kanye and I want to say either Lupe or Cuddy. They're on a couch, fucking like party rocking or some shit. And if you look right in the back, it's just my face, like because they were smushing me out of the. I don't remember what the party was, but I know it was like for Supras or some shit back in that time frame.
Oh right, yeah.
And we got
the Supra era. Sorry, yeah.
We got there early enough to be like be on the couches and shit and have like room. And then when Kanye came in, the couches got commandeered, and I tried to hold my. I was like, "Fuck that! I ain't moving," and they moved me. It wasn't like a "we gonna let you hang, homie." It was like a you just gotta get the fuck off this couch.
Like you were sat on the couch, and they picked it up and put a new couch there.
Yeah, absolutely. But yeah, that's my one Kanye story. There are no more Kanye stories. He seems fine. Back then. I don't know. Back then.
I mean, trendsetter.
I mean, what's also interesting is like when I was like prepping for the episode, I was like looking at like old Tanya Morgan and Donwill solo features, and I was like, oh my God, you guys like used to work with Knowledge. I remember Kids in the Hall. And then I look Knowledge up and he's like an academic now.
Yeah.
And then you did a song with Bad Luck, who was like Problem's brother or cousin or something. And he's like a pastor.
Bad Luck is a pastor?
Yes. I swear to fucking God, go to his Instagram.
Wait, so did he do the Malice thing when now he's like good luck or?
Yes, literally yes.
Okay.
His Instagram handle is still Bad Luck, but his Instagram name is Good Luck.
I'm going now.
Yeah, I'm looking this shit up. Hold on.
Bad Luck. Oh shit, it is.
Yeah.
Follower of Christ, father, husband, photographer?
Yeah, like what the fuck?
What?
Didn't you do a track with Donis too?
We didn't do a track with Donis.
A remix or something?
If there is, I don't know about it. We might have. But sometimes people just like put people on shit. I don't know. But Donis is dope. Donis is so dope. We used to Kids in the Hall used to be managed by this guy Dan Salamito. And so Adonis had the same manager. Dan Sagamito and Daniel Glogauer, we called them the Dans. They managed 88 Keys, Kids in the Hall. Who else? Spree Wilson. It was like they had a bunch of artists. What was? Oh, that's
okay. That's something different. Never mind.
Yeah, but holy shit, Bad Luck is now good luck.
Yep.
And the song I had him
photographer.
On the song he was on for me was just about. It was called "Pussy Rules the World." So
does it not?
It does. And
not I think for Bad Luck anymore.
Jesus rules the world.
Yep.
But wow,
yeah, I mean, also, I'm going to give you now a chance to respond to an allegation that Von P made on a song y'all did together, which is that Von P is the horniest member of Tanya Morgan.
I'm going to let him own that. I'll let him have that.
How are you going to make him prove that if he disagreed?
He says.
He says to prove it.
He says some of the most.
That's for the paid episode, but yeah, there's ways to prove that.
Von P said in one song he wants to put somebody squirt in the Soda Stream.
Hey yo.
Okay, he wins. He wins.
He does win.
It's diabolical.
He said he has his bars are so funny.
Y'all let him do that? Y'all didn't worry about how that reflected on you?
He said if she's squirting, put it in a Soda Stream. Then he said,
and nobody said, "Hey, come on, man."
Then he kind of says he's joking. He says it's a joke. It's a funny joke for him.
Okay.
Oh man,
carbonated squirt is.
Come on,
well,
man.
they do sell squirt. Have you ever seen squirt soda?
Yeah, but man, never mind, man. I forget my mom has access to listen to this, so like, let's stop right here. Yeah.
Carbonated squirt.
I got to see her in person next week too, so like, okay.
Let's go to an uncontroversial topic. Is Kamala brat?
Yes. I'm gonna jump out and say yes.
What does that mean?
Dude, were you not on Twitter the other night?
I know what the words individually mean.
It was like
what does that mean?
The day that news came out, man, like the gay dudes on Fire Island already had Kamala Brat t-shirts.
What?
Yeah. They brought like the screen printer out to Fire Island with them, just in case, man. They had the right color green shirt and shit, man. It was just like Kamala on that green and like the crop tops, and I was like, oh shit, oh yeah, she's about to make a lot of money off this election, man.
I feel like if she never made it, if she just shows up somewhere in the green suit or just is being photographed in it, she's already won. She cinched the vote. She cinched the millennial vote.
I feel like it's sad. Yeah. I feel like it's a sad reflection on America because you guys can't even reference your own pop stars. You have to go to the UK for it.
Well, you're not like us, so like, don't worry about it.
Yeah, but neither is Charlie XCX, dude. She's from the UK.
For your information and for like the edification of my father, who sadly listens to this show, Charlie XCX tweeted after Kamala became the presumptive nominee, Kamala is brat.
My question about Kamala is brat. I'm gonna learn how to say her name. I promise you. Kamala is brat. Is
Kamala.
I get the joke. I get not the joke. I get the meme. I just haven't heard the album. I haven't listened to Charlie XCX's album to know.
It's actually.
Do I have to listen to the album?
The album's really good.
It's actually pretty good and stuff. I understand why people like it a lot. Yeah, she's no Sabrina Carpenter, but it's. I'm joking about that part, by the way. Before
she's just saying Kamala is cool, right? I mean, Charlie XCX is basically saying Kamala she's on her team.
Well, there's
it's kind of the similar thing. Remember, like 2019, it was like Hot Girl Summer or whatever. Like it's the same kind of thing.
Like where Fetch.
You're
except
trying.
It happened.
Yeah, that like Fetch happened.
What do you mean Fetch happened? Yeah,
yeah.
Wait, am I wrong? Am I wrong? It was not an endorsement.
No, it
wasn't British.
Yeah, it
was an endorsement. Okay. I don't know why. Who the fuck's got a buzzsaw this time of night? Goddamn.
It's best
not
trees are sleeping.
It's hating.
Yeah. This person having a brat summer too. Goddamn. Hold on.
Wait, so she said she is brat or she's a brat summer?
She is
said,
brat.
Yeah.
Okay, so you are or you are not brat. It's like a binary thing.
So
yeah.
did you
Are
see
you
the three?
brat? Who in this chat is brat?
None of us, because we're not the most annoying
Donwill.
person you ever met.
Let the record show Donwill has raised his hand to self-identify as brat.
I am brat. And I'm not. I am brat-a-tat-tat brat.
Yo.
He's like the enforcer for the brats, you know. It's like it's when you do like fucking it's when you're doing Dungeons and Dragons. Like everybody's brat, but like, you know, you got like a fucking a warrior, and then like a ninja, and then like, you know, the healer, and this and the other.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so Don sounds like he's like the muscle in the brat community.
I'm like a calf muscle. I'm not a huge muscle in the community. I'm
Okay.
one of the muscles.
But the calf muscle is the most important muscle when you're voguing. So
That is true.
Let's say I'm a what's that? A psoas muscle? What's the one that's in your abdomen? I found out because I fucked up my back, so I'm old.
I mean, you should listen to the album. It's actually like I enjoyed it a lot. Like
it's really fun. It's really fucking fun. Yeah.
Okay.
And then also, just like the mashups they've been doing, like they did a mashup of 360 and Young Nudi's Loaded Baked Potato, which actually kind of goes. I'm not gonna lie, but yeah, it's people just been having fun with it. No, it's been like a huge meme. Like think about like that summer DS2 came out and everybody was just like, oh wait, no, we're all choosing the dirty over our respective views. You know?
everybody bought Gucci flip flops.
Yep.
Okay, like I haven't. It's not that I haven't heard it because I'm not interested. I'm just like, it just hasn't really been the time. But I guess this is the time is now. It's brat.
Yes. It's brat.
The summer is brat. Is the summer brat?
I think it is. Yeah, I think the summer is brat.
Honestly, since last week, it's kind of been like a Johnny Blue Eyes summer for me, Johnny Blue Sky summer for me. Shout out Sturgill. Yeah, but I completely understand why some people are summer. If you will.
Another big album I haven't heard is Billie Eilish's album.
It's completely fine.
I've never completely fine.
Yeah, I listened to it once and I was like, okay, this is cool. I never have to listen to this shit again.
I can't really get behind her fashion choices as of late, and it makes it hard for me to want to.
Oh, dressing like fucking Fred Durst and shit. Like, yeah.
Fucking somebody said she's dressing like Chingy, and I laughed so hard. But I am curious to hear it because I listen to a lot of artist interviews and I watch a lot of artist interviews. So I like Billie Eilish as a person and I like Phineas as a person. So I'm like, I should probably check out the album. I don't know that much about Charlie XCX as a person, but maybe I should go music first.
She's had she's had like a weird fucking career where like she's been trying to nail exactly what she is and like she finally fucking nailed it.
Yeah, I watched a YouTube explainer. I watch a lot of YouTube, and a dude was explaining. He was like, they were explaining what the brat meme was and what all this stuff was. And I saw one thing where she put up the deluxe version of the album. It was kind of like to offset Taylor Swift putting out an album in the UK. It was like some sort of like. They have like some sort of like petty thing happening between the two.
There's a whole song about it called something knife. Cut like a knife or sharp like a knife.
I thought that was
called
about
Mac
Lord.
the Knife.
What?
Okay. That was
I thought that song was about Lord.
Joke. Actually, that makes sense though, because she dates the drummer for the 1975, and Taylor Swift dated the main guy from the 1975.
Nick Mullen.
Also,
you talking about that one who was like making out with everybody all the time, and it was like,
yeah.
I know you got like a new type of herpes going on right now.
Herpes XCX is what
yeah, all the antibiotics in the world could have cured that shit. But,
But yeah, I'll check out Brat. I'm gonna check it out on the way home.
Okay.
You won't be able to get to sleep if you listen to it tonight, dude.
It's drugs. That shit is like drugs.
It's so good.
Yeah, well, it's not like drugs.
It's really like bouncy and fun.
Like, is it? Oh, go ahead.
Oh, I was gonna say it's bouncy and fun, except for the songs where she like randomly sounds like Mike Skinner.
Yeah.
Oh, she does that. Oh man, I mean,
she does that. Yeah.
Yo, sidebar. You know what I just realized? Danny Brown was in an interview talking about his love for Dizzy Rascal. The last time I was here, we talked about this.
Yeah.
Danny Brown loves Dizzy Rascal. I listened to Dizzy Rascal on the way home, and I was like, "This is just Danny Brown."
Oh, yeah. Boy in the corner.
Boy in the corner, like
incredible,
like
bro.
Everything from the tone, like it blew my fucking mind.
He mixed Dizzy Rascal with the streets.
It blew my mind. Yeah. I'm a big Danny. I love Danny Brown. So like, and I'm familiar with Dizzy Rascal, but I wasn't like a huge fan. So like, going back and listening to it after living with Danny Brown's discography for so long, I was fucked up. It's great.
Right. Dizzy was ahead of his time, man. That motherfucker was like producing albums on a PlayStation 2 and shit. Like, yeah.
Boy in the Corner is insane.
What is Dizzy up to these days?
Similar.
I think he's got an
still
NDE.
Being a rascal.
Yeah, still a rascal.
Have you guys seen the BET cipher that Dizzy Rascal was a part of? Do you remember who was a part of that one?
I do remember that cipher. I don't remember who else was in it.
Wyclef Jean.
Do you know?
Twista and Lil Mama.
Wow. Hell yeah.
What?
Lil Mama has maintained a career.
She's always in the picture, yes.
Didn't she retire? Or am I tripping?
I haven't really noticed, dude.
I feel like she had a press run around her retirement. And by press run, I mean she made an appearance on somebody's like one show.
What was she retiring from, bro?
I think she was retiring from memification. She was like, look, I've been in so many fire memes. I know y'all gonna miss me. The game needs this, but I got to step back for my family. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, maybe we should keep things political here. She might come on as a guest. So,
I mean, Slava's joke does actually bring up something that I did want to talk to you about, Don, because you've been like writing and posting about this, but like hip hop's like the like weird marriage potentially of convenience within hip hop and like conservatism. That's something that you have been sort of like ringing the alarm bell about for a minute now.
Okay, not to interrupt, but just quick sidebar. Lil Mama has a controversy section on her Wikipedia, so like that's how you know she's valid. But no, please go on with this. Yeah.
Hell of, like we're gonna have to come back to that. Text it to me or something. I gotta know.
But yeah, I guess like kind of like we've talked about this on the show a bit, like how Trump keeps getting like pretty cool and good rappers to like show up to his rallies, like OT7 Kwani, Chef G, and Sleepy Hallow. And then like he had Amber Rose at the RNC. And I guess like, I don't know, as someone who's like more in the industry, like you are much more likely to know somebody who knows like academics or whatever than we are. Can you kind of like explain what the fuck is going on, or at least like make a guess about the pathology of all this stuff?
I wish I could explain it because it puzzles me to no end. But I think that if I had to guess, I would think that rap's relationship to the government and politics has never really been a good one because black people's relationship to politics and the government has never really been good. But I think that when it comes to like rappers popping up for Trump specifically, one, I would assume there was some sort of bag attached to it. I don't think you would jump out the box. I can't see somebody jumping out the box to be like, Trump is my guy just because. Or like when I think about Lil Wayne, getting Lil Wayne's press photo with him, or like him getting ASAP out of jail, like that stuff. I think that I really don't know because I really don't know, and I feel like I'm speaking out of my depth here. But what I have been learning is that in the right-wing conservative side of things, they breed. They're creating their own influencers and their own kind of like reach within the outreach for young people. It's this thing called PragerU, not the Parler app. PragerU. I found out about PragerU recently, and it made me kind of rethink everybody. Like, you remember when the guy was just hanging out with Tommy Lauren and shit, and like that was weird.
No,
yeah,
it was like him and Trevor Noah. Yeah, they were all just trying to fuck. Like, let's be real.
It was weird. Yeah, and like they'll get like these kind of like attractive women to just come hang out.
There are also much hotter blonde women in New York. Like, let's be clear.
It's true. Yeah. But I don't know. I wish I could explain it better. But and part of the thing is that it's still crystallizing in my mind. But there's this thing to being like, hip hop is outspoken. Hip hop has always been about poking holes in things and not necessarily siding with the government. And there's something about Trump that is kind of anti-establishment. So I can see on one hand how these guys are like, yeah, this is the man that's sticking it to the man, even though he's the man. I'm fucking with this guy.
Yeah.
But when you get to like academics, like it's just people who want the bag. And like if that means they get more traction in their side of the internet, which gives them more followers and views and exposure, and
fucking trolls. They're getting paid to be trolls for a little while. They don't give a shit. Most of them have no. You know what I mean?
Like it's just. I'm just keeping a list. That's all I'm really doing. Like I'm just keeping a list. I'm keeping tabs on everything everybody does. Like Ice Cube's fucking Cube is not an inherently bad person, but Cube also is Ice Cube. Like if you go back and listen to America's Most Wanted or Death Certificate, and he has songs about fucking blowing up the Korean grocery store and shit. Like he's Ice Cube, and he's a product of the '90s hip hop. And I was talking to my friend about this. There are a lot of like people from a certain time who they don't get the OS update. Like they're not updated for 2024.
Yes.
Like their operating system can't hold this new. I mean, their machine can't hold this new operating system. So they kind of just got to be out here with fucking Snow Leopard. You know what I'm saying? Or whatever fuck they're running on.
Really, really good.
And you got to understand there are certain things you can't do on that machine because it just can't compute it. And you leave that machine over there. So the thing I've been thinking about the most is like, and this is just something I've been thinking about. I don't have any sort of like conclusive thoughts, but just what do we do with the people we've discarded, like or canceled, or like we've kind of like written off to some regard? Because again, like there was that moment where Ice Cube was kind of starting to be written the fuck off. Like, we don't fuck with you. You over here trying to have meetings with Trump and being anti-vax and blah, blah, blah. And then a couple years later, it's like, yeah, I got Big 3 basketball tournament. I got another movie coming out, whatever. Cool. Yeah, Ice Cube. Like, and it happens with everybody. And sometimes it's these insurmountable kind of cancellations where, you know, somebody will go to jail or somebody will have to go move to Bali and open a yoga studio, whatever the fuck people have to do. But I keep thinking about, like, not necessarily a sympathetic view of them, but just the legacies of these people. Because at a certain point, their careers, they're making products. They're just products. Like Kanye is a perfect example because his shoes and his merch and his clothes, people still rock them, people still buy them, people love it. But the person behind it is so reprehensible to some people. It's just this like huge, what's the word? Not disconnect.
Divide.
Dissonance is the word I'm looking for here.
Oh, yeah, there you go.
Yeah, it's a huge dissonance. And you see it with corporations and with companies that have boards of trustees and CEOs and management and like thousands of employees. And like, you know, you're like, oh, well, they're children mining for batteries, getting their arms blown off. I sound crazy right now.
No. This is...
No, let me... Flava and Drew will tell you, and Joe will tell you too, man. I've said some much wilder shit on you. Yeah.
But
like Nersy is the one hip hop podcast that is actively trying to like destroy the state. So you're in good company.
Yeah.
So you'll have like companies that are doing like this awful shit so that you can have an iPhone or you can have an iPhone cover or whatever the fuck have you. And then you have a person who just makes art and it's fine. The art is great or whatever it is. They're they're I don't know how to say what I'm trying to say.
They're not. They don't necessarily. They make a lot of money, but they don't own the means of production and shit.
Right.
And like in their effort to keep making, like, you ever read George Jackson's Blood in My Eye?
No, but I'm familiar with. I know what it is.
Yeah, so like it's around like 30-some pages, and he starts talking about how like all black celebrities are fucking cowards and they don't actually like stand for nothing. And like, mind you, this is a motherfucker who's in jail, and they keep having to move him back and forth to different jails in California because he's too good at organizing the prisoners.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, like real shit. Like he basically got assassinated by prison guards when he was like 30, 31 and shit.
Oh but my god. Okay.
Yeah, we'll do a Blood in My Eye episode one day. But yeah, man, it's basically that. It's like people who are like, oh, I got a little bit of the good life, and like the good life is assimilation, and just let me not let these people know that like I didn't fully assimilate.
Yeah, there's something to like there's something to that. Like everything is sort of toothless these days. Like even if you like everybody, it feels co-opted. Everybody does. Once you attain a little bit of fame, wealth, or success, there's a sort of co-opting that happens where you have to kind of like be in bed with people who aren't necessarily good bedfellows. And then you got artists like Rage Against the Machine who is just like have proven time and time again to be like, well, fuck this shit. Like I'm gonna keep upending it. So like if I get money from Ford, I'm gonna donate all that money to people who lobby against cars or some shit. You know what I'm saying? Like
it's like I'm donating every dollar I made from this Ford commercial to the Ford Union.
Yeah, exactly. And like I think that for the most part, a lot of rappers and a lot of personalities, well, rappers specifically, have sided with MAGA and with that shit because everything is so toothless. It doesn't really matter anymore.
It also like I think from a very surface level, from a very surface level thing too. You know, like, it's just okay. Yeah.
My bad.
What were you gonna say, Trey?
It doesn't matter.
No, it does.
No, but just from like kind of a very surface level thing, it's like, okay, Trump, he's been here, he's been a dickhead, but also he's not necessarily like ingrained in the system. He's part of it, but he didn't like come up through this system. Like, it's very easy to point at a Joe Biden and be like, oh, the crime bill, or like, you know, the poverty bill, or like the war in Iraq and shit. With Trump is like, yeah, he's kind of a dickhead or whatever, but like, let's give him a chance to be a dickhead instead of just like, you know. And so like, it's just like, I think there's a lot of surface level analysis going on there, where it's just like, he's only been in this shit for like 8 years. It's like, okay, but like, those are not the best 8 years if we're gonna be real, man. Like the first thing he did was like lead Uber drivers to be like, I'm not picking up nobody from JFK Airport, man. Yeah, I was like, yo, we're doing a Muslim ban right fucking now.
Oh wow, I forgot about. He did so much in his presidency.
Yeah,
you can't remember all of it.
Yeah, and it's like, it's really fucking weird because like he did these things, but other people, it didn't work because with Donald Trump, people were so disgusted with him from the jump that they're like, we're not letting this happen. Yeah. Whereas like, yeah, you look at a Biden and it's like everything we were told that was going to happen if Biden didn't get elected did still happen. Like trans rights fucking eroding and shit, you know, like Roe v. Wade, that shit's out the window, man. You know, like it's, so I think it's like a lot. Other people got much longer list of shit that they accomplished in power that were so fucked up that like, yeah, that, you know, you get the dumbest motherfucker on the planet to be like, you know, Lil Pump's also a white Cuban, so like, that's another story. But yeah,
I'm hearing this for the first time. He's an amazing man who's lived an amazing life. I'm actually sad to hear this.
Who?
Yeah. He's talking about Big DT.
I don't fuck with that guy. And I'm every time I see somebody like co-opting the image, or like Sexy Red performing with Make America Sexy Again. Like I know she's like taking the piss, so to speak. And I don't think it's serious. I think she's dead ass.
Like she did an interview where she like talked about like why Trump was like.
Oh boy!
But what did she? So okay. What did she say that was like? That wasn't like, yeah, he just real. I like him. He just, he's just, when he got in office, it was cool. Like, I feel like she doesn't have a real opinion about why she likes him. This is me making a lot of assumptions about Sexy Red's political acumen. I don't really know what she's tapped into, but I think but I'm not invalidating that because there are a lot of people that feel like that. Like, there's this.
I also just don't like her music either, so it's easy to say that, yeah.
I'm not a fan at all.
It's like, I'd rather listen to Ken the Man. Shout out Ken the Man.
There was this interview where Wayno was talking to somebody, and that person was asking Wayno. He was asking Wayno. I'm sorry. Wayno was asking this person why they didn't like Kendrick Lamar, and I think it was Slava, but I could be wrong. He was asking him why he didn't like Kendrick Lamar, and the person just kept saying, well, because people tell me that he's so dope. And Wayno was like, no, but why don't you not like it?
Right.
And he was like, because people he's like, but you're telling me what people have said about this man. Why don't you specifically? And the guy just kept saying, it was like this really circular thing for like a minute and 30 seconds or however long the upload limit was. But I feel like that level of unresearched just vibes is what a lot of people are going off of when it comes to their political the president. And the government is just like, nah, Trump it was more chaotic. I like chaos. I like fucking ratchet chaos or some shit.
Mm-hmm.
It's also like, we're in a weird place where politics in this country are treated like how we treat sports. Like, you pick your basketball team.
Yes. And
you defend those motherfuckers no matter what. Like, you can complain about it. Like, okay, so I'm a Wizards fan, being from the area and shit. And like, I'm sorry, Trey. Yeah, we've talked about this, man. I would talk so much shit about the Wizards, but as soon as a fucking like 76ers fan or a Knicks fan talk shit about the Sixers, I'm like, well, hold the fuck up real quick. It's like, in New York, all you gotta do is say Reggie Miller out loud, and people get pissed off with you.
Dude, they fucking burned Embiid jerseys after the first round of the playoffs against the Sixers. Or the first game of the first round.
They did. I forgot about that.
And they were right to do that.
Yeah. It's so, like, the sports that you're right. There's, like, a level of fanaticism around the Republican Party specifically. But, like, even with the Democrats.
Oh, no, the Democrats are there, too, man.
It feels like anti-fanaticism. It feels like we don't like anybody. Fuck everybody. We want...
bro. The past couple of days of all these, no, Kamala actually did not lock that many people up. It's like, no, but she did lock somebody. She did lock people up, right? It's like she only locked up this many people for weed. It's like, okay, but she admitted she smoked weed, so she should have locked 0 people up, right? It's like, you just hate black women. It's like, okay, well, Yeah.
I think people just want to have the hope of 2008 or whatever. They want to feel energized and excited. It's sports, man. Like you said,
and then what did that get us? More drone strikes than ever. But you can't get people to admit that shit.
They're like, we got to take the good with the bad.
It's like, what if we didn't have to though? That'd be so sick. Like, what if we push people not to do the bad and only took the good? But they're like, well, you don't know how government works. It's like, well, maybe it's a bad government, and they're like, oh, so you're a communist, you're bad. And it's like, okay, well, maybe the former. I don't know. You got to ask other communists about that. But yeah, I don't know if that makes me bad. Yeah.
My internet. I'm gonna be logged on to Twitter tomorrow with a lime green business suit and a silky blowout. You know what I'm saying? You're gonna see me stumping for the new brat.
Okay, Cat Williams.
Cat Williams is the reason why all of this.
Cat Williams is brat. Also,
Cat Williams absolutely brat.
Also, he's the reason. Yeah, like what Dom was just about to say. This portal that's opened the past few months and shit. I wish he had never gone on that interview, man, because we haven't even seen the worst of what the result of that's going to be.
I think the lasting effect of it is going to be we're going to live through years of Cat Williams. Somebody has to close the portal. Somebody has to close the portal.
Bruh, Russia's about to fall by the end of the year because of Cat Williams.
Cat Williams might need to be president. We might need to write him in.
Yeah, Cat Williams is going to destroy NATO. But yeah.
And now we are going to get the first ever Nersy freestyle from Donwill. If you are still willing to do.
Whoa! He's not after that. I'll tell you that much.
I think I am.
Okay.
Right, I don't know how we do this.
I am. Do you consent to doing a 5 Fingers of Death style?
No, that's too much. I gotta download all those, pull them all in.
Okay. Joe, whose problem this actually is, does not consent. Okay. You have the choice of freestyling over one of the 5 following beats. 1, Charlie XCX 360. 2, the Crazy Town classic Butterfly. R.I.P. the Crazy Town guy.
R.I.P. the Crazy Town guy.
3, Money Machine by 100 gecs. 4, a remix of Sandstorm that I found on YouTube by searching Sandstorm Trap Beat. 5, the Cameron mixtape cut Get 'Em Daddy.
Oh man, I'm kind of tempted to say Charlie XCX 360, even though I've never heard it.
Wow,
That's expert mode.
Yes.
What BPM is it?
I don't know, man.
A lot, bro.
I'm scared.
Yeah, it's definitely got some BPs in them, so I'll tell you that much.
If it's fast,
And it's in metric too, so you'd have to convert it.
Also, for the record, Donwill declined to rap over a Jersey Club remix of Bobby Hill yelling "That's my purse" over and over again.
it's kind of fast. Okay, what?
Don, thank you for consenting to the first Nersy freestyle.
Listen, man, I'm down with the chaos theory. Yo, it's your boy Donwill, Nersy certified. It's like on the radar, but we off the radar. Ain't no radar. The air flight system is down. Microsoft fucked up the radar, so we not on the radar. We off the radar, we stay far. I'm gonna get in my car and drive somewhere. I meant to say somewhere. There, I don't care. I got long hair, check it. Poofy doofy, floofy floofy. You know I gooby gooby. I come through, make the pussy chewy chewy. Like Chewbacca, I'm the chief rocker. Get your door knockers, and I knock on them. I'm not gonna stop, I'm a Pop Warner. Is that a team? Maybe it's a sports reference. This is what it is. I'm not Cameron. They say, damn Don, you're a damn hang-on. What the fuck was that? I don't know. I'm just rapping. It'll go, cause Joe was gonna mix it down. Surround sound, stereo, here we go. Merry go around, round. You around town, like a round brown. Mound of pound cake on the town pound. Like sexy brown, or sexy red. I Lex him dead. It don't matter what I just said. The words don't matter. I should Oh, wait, we gotta let the beat drop. Oh, the beat drop is coming in. I think so. Okay, I'm looking at Logic and not the MP3, whatever. But I'm coming back. Peace to Drew, peace to Slava, peace to Trey, peace to Lava. Lava's not in here, he's Ab Lava. He raps with Pusha T and Malice. I mean no malice in the palace. Dallas is the city in Texas. I drive a Lexus. I tried to rhyme Lexus before. That was a pause. You thought I was gonna kick some more, but I didn't. We out of here. Stroke the kitten. I don't know.
Yo, let's go, fam.
Oh my god, that was incredible.
That was utter nonsense. I'm glad you liked it.
That's exactly. Well, this podcast is utter nonsense, man. That's exactly what we needed.
Now I want to go some more. What else we got?
Okay.
5 Fingers of Death style. Give me one. I'll take one more.
Now give him the money machine. Give him the money machine beat.
All right.
Give him the money machine beat.
I wish you could see my face. 1, 2, 3, 4. How many gecs is enough? I only got 100. I need about one more to make it worth it. 101 gecs, maybe. What the fuck is a gec anyway? Is it a gecko? Is it some form of currency? What does GEC stand for? Granular electronic computers? I'm just making up words. They might not make sense. This beat is kind of cool. I have heard this. I know this. These are weird people. They process their vocals heavily, don't they? I got a lot of gecs in my pocket. I want to spend each and every one of them. Will you take a gec from me? General Electric Company. We go. Electricity is a gec. Gec is a measurement of electricity, not J Electronica. I play the harmonica like wow 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 wow. Oh no, that was terrible.
That was awesome, dude.
That was so fucking
Nah,
good.
that's exactly what a freestyle over 100 gecs should sound like.
Yeah.
Get the gecs on the line.
Dude,
you might be the 101st
we don't have to get the
gec,
gecs
dude.
on the line. The gecs are going to be getting you on the line after that.
That was fun.
That was unreal.
That was a lot of fun.
Oh my God. This has been Nersy featuring the one, the only, the first and 100th gec, Donwill. I have been Drew. Co-hosts are Slava and Trey. Our producer is Steel Tip Dove. Our music is by Craig S. Jenkins.
Craig, what up?
And, I think I speak for all of us when I say they not like us.
Oh, come on, man. Why would you end it with that?
That may not.
Don, thank you all the nice things you said about Canada off record. Right before we started recording, you said that Drake was winning the battle, and I appreciate that. Thank you.
That is not true.
I got an image.
Just to be clear, that is not true. Slav is once again lying.
No, never happened.
As he's wont to do. As he's wont to do.